Well, welcome to our Tuesday Fancy Pants training call. It's so much fun. I love to have different leaders on our team chat with us about things that work for them and just kind of train us and really show us the ropes. And it was interesting last night. We were on a call with Julie and just some other women, and LuLaRoe has done such an awesome job on doing the fashion fundamental training videos. And, Deanne says, why reinvent the wheel? Like, those videos are great. Make sure that you utilize them. Go on to the fashion fundamentals, like the LuLaRoe fashion fundamentals. And the password is I love LuLaRoe, all caps, no spaces. And watch those videos. Take the time to really dig in and, listen to one or two a day, because a lot of information's there and it's all in one place. And so, and you can listen on your own time. But I do think that it is important for us to see your smiling faces and to get to know you all, and for you to hear from us as your leaders. And so I've asked Tatiana, actually just came back. We road tripped up to DC last week to the Inspire Tour, and it was awesome. My time with Tatiana was awesome as well. We took a whole bunch of our Fancy Pants girls to lunch. There were about 30 girls that we got to hang out with and get to know and chat with and just encourage and love on. And that area is blowing up for sure. And so that was really fun. And then, of course, spending time with my sweet friend was wonderful as well. And so I have asked Tatiana to do a little training for you all. And so I'm going to turn it on over to you. And I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. And so, Tatiana, you're going to have to unmute yourself. Perfect.
Yay. Thanks, Catherine. All right. Hi, guys. So the other night, I realized I had several girls rapidly kind of all on board under me and down in my downline all at once. And so I popped online and did a live video, kind of oh my gosh, I just spent several $1,000s and now what? So we kind of laughed about it. And I did this little video on what to do next, kind of like while you're waiting for your inventory. And Catherine had messaged me and asked me if I would talk to you guys about that. So I am going to run through a couple things that I think are really important while you guys are waiting. So go ahead.
It's not while they're waiting, but just to show them some of the features, some of the new features on the Build and Bless that are super helpful, because I feel like it is very overwhelming for a bunch of women. Even if you have been doing your business, you don't really see those features. And so it's nice, like the walkthrough that I watched you do, just kind of showing people where things are and little cool tips and tricks.
Oh, sure. So is there a way to split screen that then? How do I don't share screen. So I shared it because I was on my phone. I can walk them through it for sure, but I don't know if I'll be able to show it unless you know how to split the screen or share the screen. Let's see. I can. Yes. I'm so techie right now, you guys. This would be so smart. We'll be so proud of me. Okay. So yay. Never mind. I figured it out. Actually, let me exit out all of my other mail stuff real quick, guys. Okay. So anyways, yes, not while you're waiting in the queue, but it's this was kind of what I was talking about to my girls about while they're waiting for their inventory to arrive. And one of the biggest things was basically let's see, I think, does that work? Can you guys see my dashboard?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So one of the things that I was telling them was that now's a really great time to go in and familiarize yourself with the Build and the Bless. I'm actually already in Build. I was already set up to kind of talk about these features on this side first. But just to backtrack a little bit, you'll have your Bless side. That's going to be where you process sales. That's kind of, think about it as blessing people with really awesome clothes and all the great confidence and things that come with our clothes. So that's the Bless side, and we'll go over there in a minute. But right now I'm on the Build side, and that's kind of the back office to your business, where you'll place orders, where you can kind of keep track of your team. They just added a really awesome little bonus feature there. So that's really cool. You'll see here, you have your whole front board, so you can see This is the link that you will, I get asked this all the time, this is the link that you'll send people to join your team. And when you click it, actually, it will, when you send it to them, it will show up, let me see if we can put it in a thing for you guys. It will show up this screen. So if you've been with us for a little while, if you've just onboarded, it's possible that you send in a contract, like a paper contract emailed over, but we don't do that anymore. So this is kind of a new feature, and it's important to know. You'll have any new girl who wants to sign on with you will fill out this link. Make sure that they already have their email set up. And so their email, as you know, needs to be LuLaRoe, first and last name. And that's the email that they'll fill in for this. So make sure they have that set up prior to filling out this link. And it's, make sure they don't fill out this link unless they're ready to go forward. Sometimes girls will get really confused and fill it out thinking that it's going to give them information on how to join. And this is the link that they fill out if they've already received the information and they're ready to join. So that's kind of a fun new feature. And just remember, guys, nobody in the queue, anybody in the queue, they're not allowed to sponsor anymore. That's kind of a little change that they've made. So just remember that. Just a quick rundown I did with the girls. This is where you'll order. New order, you'll click that. My order shows you everything that you've placed, and you can kind of see what's been shipped and keep track of it that way. New order is where you'll place an order. You only actually have to hit update cart once. So you can go through and then you can hit the update cart once and it'll update it all. We were laughing at DC. I had a couple girls that were like, man, having to update my cart for every style is so time consuming, and you don't actually have to do that. So, and that walks you through how to purchase and everything.
See if tall and curvies are up.
I know. It's really user friendly, guys. So no, still sold out. They went up like 4 times yesterday. This team tab is a great way for you to kind of keep tabs on your girls, keep track of how well they're doing, keep track of maybe girls that need a little extra encouragement, TLC, and they just added the bonus feature too. So if you are building a team, if you are a trainer, if you're trying to keep track of numbers, that tab's really neat. This tab is my favorite, tools and assets. More often than not, any of your questions that you have can be found right here, guys. This is where all your information is. The assets tab has everything here, everything. I mean, I get questions about fundraisers and marketing materials and price sheets, and it is all right here. I mean, LuLaRoe has done a really good job of making sure that we have all this information, and so utilize it. Like Catherine said, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel, recreate your own stuff. It's all here. So in addition to the assets, they've done fashion fundamentals, which, again, amazing. And Julie said something last night on her call, which I think is really important for you guys to kind of put in the back of your mind, is be a learn-it-all. Like, we give you permission to go out and find the information that you're looking for on your own. Use fashion fundamentals, use the assets tab, use Google. Like, that's okay. You know, if you can find the answer out, we challenge you guys to do that. And then if you can't, we're all here. Myself, Catherine, all the trainers, all the coaches, we're here to help you. But give yourself permission to kind of go out and research on your own. So while you're waiting for your inventory, it's a great idea to start looking through all of these videos. Lots of different tips, tricks, things, from the top leaders of the company is all right here at your fingertips. So familiarize yourself with that. And if you come down here, you'll go to Bless, which will take you to the sales side of things. Also has a little link for your team to join, or for people to join your team. The reports. Anybody who's been with us a while, that old wholesale orders where you can kind of see from the old system where you ordered. Payments, obviously. Paid invoices shows you what's paid. I like to just use the regular invoice tab because I like to keep track of what's been paid versus not paid. But, sorry, my dogs can hear you. Hold on. We're running slow. I'm going to show you guys a quick, I don't know why that's freezing. A quick trick. There used to be a sales tab here, and it's no longer. But if you go to sales by date and you take the by date part out of the web address, it'll bring you to your sales report. So that's a fun little trick too. So for the girls who are on the phone and can't see this, when you go to reports, hit paid invoices, delete the by date part, and it'll take you to your sales report. Other than that, I think this is a really self-explanatory site. You want to process a sale, go to sales, hit new sale. You can, I'll do this for you real quick. You can add whatever you're going to do and then hit checkout. And then it gives you the option to pay with a credit card, cash sale, or send an invoice. And I get the invoice question a lot because until you walk yourself through it, you don't really know that that invoice button is there. And you just put an email in, and then you'll get emailed a confirmation when it's been paid. So when girls onboard, I tell them, okay, now go ahead and process a sale on yourself. The longest deposit it takes is your very first transaction. So LuLaRoe has to set up, and they go in there and they have you verify your bank and everything beforehand, but it's still like your first transaction is the longest. So if you process a sale on yourself, you've kind of got that up and running. And then after that, it's about a 3-day roughly, wouldn't you agree, Catherine, like a 3-day turnaround to get your deposits.
Right.
And you can see, you can keep track of those deposits in the reports tab under the payments tab. Other than that, I think these websites are really user friendly in my opinion. If you go back to build, oh, hold on, it kicked me out. I'll show you damaged items form. That's really important. If you
I've lost the word in my brain and I can't think of consistent. Like, starts with C.
I make sure everyone's muted.
No, I was mad because I was like, what's the word? I was like, consecutive, I can't think of the word.
Clearly, whoever's talking is not muted.
You said what? I don't.
Here, hold on. All right, unmute yourself, Tat.
And then this one too, guys, real quick, I think this is like the last little feature, is when you go into your settings, there's a way for you, you can edit yourself to subscribe to different things, emails and stuff. I get asked that question all the time. Why am I not getting the emails? So go into your settings up here at the top and you can, right there, subscriptions. And there's a couple other things in there, information. But again, you have the time right now between when you've placed your order to when you're going to get your inventory to kind of play around and familiarize yourself with this. I'm such a hands-on person that listening to somebody tell me how to do it doesn't always register as well as just going in and playing around. Process a sale and see how that works for you guys. Other than that, I mean, that's like the main back office thing. And I'm going to run through a couple things that I suggest that girls do and think about to wrap the call up. Now that you know that your inventory is on your way, it's the perfect time to plan a launch party. We suggest not picking a date for your launch party until you onboard because you can't really guarantee. But once you onboard, you should have a good idea of when you can plan a launch party. And that's a great way to introduce all your friends and your family to LuLaRoe and what your new business is. And more often than not, they want to come out and support you. And so launch parties are a really great way to have them see what you're doing because they're there to support you and they're excited to be there. The most important step, in my honest opinion, out of all of this is the 72-hour game plan. And you'll hear us talk about that. I'm going to stop share real quick. There we go. You hear us talk about that all the time. And so for those of you who don't know, and I feel like we are constantly repeating ourselves, but then there are people who've never heard of it. And so it's always good to revisit every three days, every 72 hours. So what you would do is basically make a list. You're going to want to write 50 names. LuLaRoe has this in their assets section, and it's like a document where it lists like people in your cell phone, people in your inner circle, acquaintances, professional networks, kids contacts, and social networks. If you make a goal to get 10 names under each of those categories, there's your 50 right there. And get creative. I tell my girls, sometimes your closest friends are the last people to host a party for you. That's just the way it is. I don't know why, but they're the last to kind of come around. And sometimes the people that you didn't ask or you almost didn't ask are the people who are the first to bite and say, of course I'll do this. This is awesome. So don't ever say no for anybody. Just make a list of names, circle 5 and call those 5, and then just keep repeating it every couple of days. Go through your calendar, decide what your schedule is going to look like, what you're trying to get out of this, circle your dates, and then try to book those dates with your 72-hour game plan. That kind of brings you into knowing your why, which is kind of, I think, the second most important thing. Why are you here? What drove you to LuLaRoe? What made you want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to join this company and the movement? So to really tap into that, I think is really important, because it reminds you why you're doing this and why it's important and why you need to make your money back, and not only make your money back, but grow your business, and why you need to go out and bless the lives of other people. So really, really think about that. It's a lot of times what you think your why is, it's so much deeper. You can kind of peel back the layers as you get going and peel back the layers as your business grows, and it often changes. What my why was when I started is not my why now, or is only a small portion of what my why is now. So really, really think about that. When you're in tune with that, I think it adds a whole another level to your business. Just a couple other things to think about after you've onboarded is obviously your email. Make sure that's set up, your Facebook, your Instagram, any other social media that you're going to tackle, Twitter, Periscope, and just make sure those are all LuLaRoe first and last name, and that you're upholding the brand in a positive manner on all of those sites across the board. Hangers, racks. I like storesupply.com. That's where I got mine from. And they are sturdy and they are in better condition. They're the first racks I ever purchased. They're in better condition than some of the other racks that I've purchased off of Amazon and stuff. So make sure that they're commercial grade and you want them to last, so you don't have to keep replacing them. Our clothes are heavy, and when they're all on a rack, if the rack's not commercial, it'll start to bend and possibly fall over on customers, or I had it fall over on somebody's lamp one time. Hangers from Costco, Amazon, Walmart. I mean, you guys, you can go out and find good deals and find what works for you and your budget. Other things to consider: poly mailers, flat rate shipping boxes you can get on USPS. Those are free. I get my poly mailers off of Amazon. Set up an account if you're really going to tackle online. I use stamps.com. A lot of girls use Shipping Easy. Guys, this is one of those scenarios where you're just going to need to find out what works for you. You're going to need a trial and error. We all do it differently, and we are giving you permission to be a learn-it-all. Go out. All these websites will walk you through setting up an account and how to print postage. I just now got a Dymo, which is like a super fancy label printer, and I've been doing online sales for over a year. I just used regular printer paper. Like, you don't have to get fancy. None of this stuff needs to stress you out right out the gate. I know it seems like a lot, but it's really okay. Just get your box of clothes and sell. All that fancy glitter, all the fancy add-ons, they're great, and you'll acquire those as your business gets moving, but you don't need them right out the gate. They're not the keys to success. We didn't even have startup kits. You'll get a startup kit. It's going to come with some awesome marketing material and style tags and things like that, but it is not crucial to starting your business or how successful your business is going to be. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, yeah, I would say familiarize yourself with the Build the Bless, LuLaRoe, fashionfun.com, like Catherine said, and the password is I love LuLaRoe, all caps, no space. Google is your friend, and just kind of soak it all in. Take all the knowledge and you can. But really, your biggest goal is to 72-hour game plan. You want to get those clothes, and you want to start selling the moment that they are dropped off on your door. Personal opinion.
Perfect. And something that they talked about, and we all talked about, I was on a mentor call, and they really went through like the roles of a mentor, a coach, a trainer, a sponsor, and you are in charge of your own business. Your sponsor, your coach, your mentor doesn't make you or break you. And so it's so important to do the 72-hour game plan and to get out there and just work your business every day. And so, we all have different strengths and different weaknesses. And so just really focus on your strengths and don't compare yourself to others. And that's probably the biggest advice. And even now that I've been in the business almost 2 years, and it's just really important that I I do what I'm great at and don't compare myself to others. Tatiana and I were talking about that too. We all have our own strengths, so really hone in on what your strengths are and go for it. It's so much fun, and you are changing lives and strengthening families every day. So thank you, Tatiana, for doing this. This is
Anyone have any questions before you pop off?
Oh yeah, are there any questions?
Hey, Catherine. Amber, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good. I have a few questions. I'm struggling a little with like coming up with Facebook posts and things like that. So I know we touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that some of the things I was going to add to my Facebook are okay. And how do we know if we're taking something that may not be approved or not? So a lot of the people that I have on my Facebook group are not they're not very familiar with it. So I wanted to post something about Patrick, the designer, and there was a nice little write-up about him, but I'm not sure where it came from. When you Google it, it pops up and it has this picture. It looks like something LuLaRoe might have had on their site, but I can't seem to track down the source. Is that a problem if I post something like that? Like, how do we know if it's, I don't know. Does that make any sense to you? Sorry. See if I can pull it up.
Tatiana, I'll let you do that.
Yeah. Honestly, it's always a good rule of thumb that if you can't cite the information, don't post it. I think I have an idea of what you're talking about.
I just had it up so I could show you guys, and then I lost it. But yeah, so you know what I might be talking about?
I think I do. And honestly, if I can remember correctly, I do believe that is correct information. But as a rule of thumb, just don't post anything that you can't cite. And if you do like find something from somebody else, ask them if it's okay that you post that, and then cite them, like give them credit for things. I'm trying to see. I don't think that there is anything in the assets department about Patrick. I think that's
what I was having a hard time. I've been through all the assets trying to find things that would be approved, just kind of explaining about what it is. And I don't know if I should just write up something myself. I know there's a lot of cute things out there on the web of explaining what pop-ups are, and I'm just not sure what has been made by someone or what. I don't know, and I'm having a hard time finding anything on assets.
I would if you're just kind of trying to explain what a pop-up boutique is or what LuLaRoe is, I think your best bet is to use yourself in the clothes and use your own words, because that you can explain on your own. I don't think there's you have to worry about citing anything where that's concerned. A lot of times it's like facts or, statistics that'll get floated around that maybe aren't accurate or maybe shouldn't be reposted. But the best way to market your business to your friends and family, especially who don't know what it is using yourself and showing everybody how cute you are in the clothes.
Okay, thanks. That's definitely what I've been trying to do. I just wasn't sure if I was missing something in assets that maybe.
I don't think so, not in that terms. And I think I speak for Catherine, and I know I speak for a couple other people when I have no problem if people copy and paste things. Like if you see an event invite or you see somewhere that I've described what LuLaRoe is, or sometimes people like the wording on an Instagram post. Like I'm a free-for-all. Nothing that I do is mine. It's for anybody who wants to use it. So you're welcome to read over my stuff. And I know I probably speak for Catherine too, and kind of help formulate your descriptions of what things are.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I agree with, I definitely agree with Tatiana. You can kind of look at our posts for like our write-ups on what LuLaRoe is in our invited like Facebook, like the events that we create. And so there's a little blurb, kind of like an elevator speech basically about what a pop-up is. And so look there, and you can just grab mine if you want. That's totally what it is. But just post a bunch of pictures. I mean, you have a bunch of LuLaRoe, you look adorable in it. So post a bunch of pictures of you.
Some more pictures and everything. I just want to make sure that I'm not like posting anything wrong or take information from a site and it be wrong. That's all.
Yeah, so you're fine. You got it. Anyone else? Anyone else before we stop? Well, thank you all for popping on. Thank you, Tatiana, for doing this. This is great. I'm going to record it. I'm going to post it. I'm also going to post it on the QV page. We've just had, our team has just exploded these last few months. And so I feel like a bunch of us are getting the same questions. And so I wanted Tatiana to kind of share the getting started with everyone. And we are going to start really pushing doing the fundamentals because we don't want to keep recreating the wheel. I feel like I do trainings, Tatiana does trainings, Sarah, like all the coaches are doing trainings, and we just need to kind of streamline things. And we were all talking to Deanne about it, and Deanne was like, why are you recreating the wheel? Send them to Fashion Fundamentals. They have all the information. It's all LuLaRoe approved. And so that is really where the bulk of your information is on stuff for getting started. But bottom line, and Deanne would say this too, we're really focusing on getting back to the basics and we buy the clothes at wholesale, we sell them at retail, and just sell your clothes. Just sell them. So
keep it simple.
Keep it simple. And y'all remember my challenge. I need to post about it again. If you have increased your sales by 50% this month, you'll be put in a drawing. There'll be 3 people unless there are over 100. And if there's over 100, there'll be 5 people that get a $300 gift card from me for increasing your sales 50%. So yay! And that is all. Happy Tuesday. Remember to get on the 1 o'clock calls, and the 1 o'clock call today, and I will talk to you later. Thanks, Tat. I'll see you soon. Bye.